All right. Welcome everyone who's here. Welcome everyone who is going to see this at some point. We're hoping for millions of you. This is the last show for the Tesoro third year anniversary. We have managed to hang in this long, even with everything that's going on in the world. We have been gathering more and more incredible talent. And if you missed the first three shows, what can I say? I will pray for you, but it's okay. They'll be on YouTube where you can access it a little bit later on. I've said this for every show. I'm not going to change because it's always true. We are blessed today to have some of the most incredible talent literally on the planet here. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure to meet, my name is Stacey Dyson. I am the founder and the lead poet for Tesoro. Tesoro is an international women's poetry organization. We have members literally all over the globe. We're in Mexico, Colombia, Canada, all over the United States, England, Portugal, Australia, and South Africa. We haven't taken over Antarctica and Asia yet, but I'm working on it. So for those of you who want to see what we're up to later on and as the year progresses, check us out at www.firesingers.com. You can meet our folks and see what we're doing. I am really, really excited to introduce our first player because I think this is the first time she's actually with us. So I want y'all to open up your mics and give some welcome applause to Simona Logan.
Yeah, Simona.
Hey! Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's an honor to be here with you. Hello from London. It's getting dark here, so I put the curtain on to not see my not the neighbors, but the people who are outside passing the streets. So I'm going to read the Romanian poem first of all, and then I will carry on with the English one. So I'm writing both in Romanian and English. And while I read very good in Romanian, please have mercy with me when I'm reading in English. Because 10 years ago, I didn't know English at all. So now here I am. So I'm starting with the poem. It calls It's Getting Late in Evening. And it's a poem reminding the childhood. And now looking from the perspective, from today's perspective, I'm an old person looking back and still having hope and longing the good days, but still looking with hope for the next days. Amice, mi-e seară târzie în albastru, troienă de dor m-au nins pe cărări și lacrimi au curs ades în mirări, schimbându-mi speranțele pe un piastru. Plecat amândor, precum un sihastru, când gheare de foc ne scutau dureri. E seară târzie și ceață prin veri. Lumini se desprind uneori din litanii și-mi joacă în hore amintiri peste noapte. Sărutul măicuței simțindu-l aproape de tâmple și în versuri îmi scutur castanii de zâmbet de alean, departe prin anii, când toamne de bas pictau mere coapte, iar noi dănțuiam voioși peste poate. E seară târzie, amice în povară, și rimele-și prind nerostul tăcut. Departe sub nuci îngheață un trecut în care am iubit și am visat primăvară. Eram doar copii prinzând în chitară curcubeu de idei într-un cânt absolut. Inocenți străbăteam al magiei ținut. Cu cerbii vrăjiți am fugit prin poveste departe de lacrima lumii, de foc când codrii miraji au pictat în mijloc de veri cu cireșe în urechi, iar pe creste albastrul curgea prin poeme celeste, când râuri legau prin basme un joc, țintindu-i în dor copilăriei un loc. Azi sunt peregrin peste lumi despletite și-mi caut prea liniștea gândului zbor. Mi-e seara mice, refrene cobor cu alte nuanțe pe margini tivite. În cercul tăcerii mai ard răzvrătite voința și forța, legate de un dor prin carme ce-și cer tălmăcirile lor. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed the musicality of the language, and yeah, Romanian language is a quite hard one to learn and understand, but I hope you enjoyed. So now, thank you so much, Daisy. So now I want to carry on with a poem in English. And the last time I wrote a lot about nature and about sustainability, and I've been involved in many projects here in London regarding the Earth Day or sustainability. So I read now a poem. It calls Earth Letters to Humanity. So it's like a metaphor. So sorry, a personification. So the earth is writing a letter to the people. I whisper through the rusting trees my hymns of love, for you to see how forests fold up from above, the golden light sparking twilights with hope and peace, cleaning the space from cosmic dust so you can breathe the air of life, while rivers chant soft melodies. But now the tunes are getting sad and out of breath. I cradle mountains, firm and soft, with joyful breeze, through water streams spanning the valleys and the peaks, so you can add your spark of life beneath the skies, among rich flowers with soft sands and meadows charm, enriching epic journeys through the season's eyes. Still, my poetry gets rotten on your grasping art. My sacred forests fall, my coastal waters rise. The winds are getting wrong their tunes among the tides. I gave you field and light and greenery between, so you can hold your peace, your bliss, creating art. Yet smoke and dirt are mixed within the dull unseen, aching my roots, my trunks, my branches. I am hurt. You people carve my bones. You fiercely drain my veins. Yet still, I stand alert through all the troubled pain. Restoring broken meadows, I bandage ugly cuts, healing the wrecked woodlands and calm the thunderstorms. Fighting to have in mornings the soft lavender lights, while leveling your notes of diminishing returns. I'm writing you this letter, enduring, strong and true. As days are growing tense, my fate stands now with you. The time is fleeting, yet your power is my hope. Turn the tide, restore the fields, let the forest thrive. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Love the mighty globe. Let the river dance. Jointly, we can still survive. Thank you. So I want to change a bit the note and I will read for you. Do I still have time, Daisy?
You've got about 4 minutes, honey.
Okay. So I want to read a poem, Poetic Stamps. It's a bit longer, but I'm hoping to manage, and it's a bit different. A mystery of sagas unfolded in sunsets, nurturing bliss of passion, washing away regrets. In search of love, strong meaning, poetic, sacred ground, I'm writing back to letters penned in the river sand. Near by the Shakespeare Globe, a metaphoric ridge where poets are for hire, condensing wise advice, converting life's desire in twilight's paradise, where moon is drinking coffee with stars beneath the blue, twisting the tales of wonder and Nazar spelling who. To hopes and dreams and joy, drawing the future scratch, aligning time's old stories for bounding present pledge. Alas, it's time to wander, to laugh, to think, to cry. As stories of this present unfurl to the blue skies, the drama takes new token, the psychic otherwise, pretending to reveal the peaceful wise advice, erasing the soul purpose, the harmony go charge. Through the revenge on sagas untold, deeply estranged. Nothing has changed on earthy, nostalgic drive of life. The colors of the passion, the dreams, the fight, the strife. They are still breathing yearning, carving a cup of zest, with mysteries unfolding beyond the wisdom's quest. But still has changed the settings, the place where love returns and requisites have altered under the new reforms. If existence is dramatic, a lively performance, the rehearsal is counted as none behind the bars. The acts are reckoned blindly in folders on websites, a gathering of wishes designed by modern life. The data takes the power. The scripts humbly obey, yet no one needs them either when pictures every day are feeding walls of Facebook, Snapchats, and Instagram with pretty poshing girls in search of their prince charm. A man of the six package, 6 figures on the land, through monthly revenues, cashing them on their hand. Nevertheless, the man must be on his 6 feet, smiling and looking smart, wise, humble, and complete. Oh, dear Isis girl, the world has changed a lot. I say sometimes, but still under the plot, shows the same human craving to love and to be loved. The ancestral enigmas in which drama unfolds, the controlling desire, the maniac get rich, has gotten a new frock through the YouTube bright pitch. A square within the city, worldwide lighting its lamps, while Cinderella's persons get millions of fans. You see, the fairy baguette still promised better life since older Cinderella got her as the big prize, but in contrast with past, the present just demand the sweetest cream of richness without the working heart. The candid prince no longer show up on his white horse, but driving expectation within the online source, where fish are plenty even, the sea is dead for good, and honestly is shrinking, revealing karmic wound. The polymers are teaching new lessons in the land, highlighting taste of dumping, nasty, bitter, and grand. Yet freedom has bright colors, empowering the hope to forecast inspiration in zestful horoscope. Meantime, Tamas, the legend figure, is tying vibes to the new streams of river, still gifting its dark side, as memories are drifting between the season stamps, perennial lives cycle roll through poetic stamps. Thank you so much for having patience to, to listen to me. Thank you.
All open up your
Thank
mics,
you.
throw this lady some roses. Simone, it was
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
Hey, thank you.
I hope you enjoy. It was a
Thank
bit
you.
different now to,
Thank
to
you.
make you a bit laugh.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
so coming up next, I'm always thrilled to hear this lady. This is one of the most dangerous women on the planet, as are we all. But she is also the head of our newly formed Tesoro New York. Would y'all please give it up for Tabitha Adams?
Hello. Yoo-hoo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm known for talking too much shit, but I don't ever want to waste my time, so I'ma just give it to ya. Here we go. Lord, I don't find that I got the strength needed to represent a survivor. I don't know. I mean, I spent long years in search of my own self. Depression had me and then covered me in the smallest of things. A right thigh sworn to a father for man I should have never introduced my body to. Forgive me, for I still come broken, too shattered to hold, and though I'm a poet, I may fail to explain all the ways my light has become heavy. When distance became unanswered loved ones, and I saw them when they were leaving, but it was hard to say. I know I should be over this by now. I was just a kid, uncomfortable in a growing part, but sometimes I still can't find the words. A hello was too heavy to hold, and I don't want him to leave. I don't, but when he ran his hand up my thigh, I couldn't hold back the tears. It was confusing. I get it. It was confusing for me too. I didn't know how to say, stay, please. I'm just battling some shit right now. Flashbacks got me going through it right now. Oh man, the way you touched me got me battling myself right now. I usually do a good job at pretending to be strong, but my heart still waits to breathe. I was 19, wanting to be touched by a man, but being scared to be touched by a man. I didn't know how to tell him about the dragon, the man in the pink shorts, my tongue still baggy in these jeans. Why do you have to touch me like that for? I wanted to tell every man I ever known, but wear the face of someone else when I said it. 'Cause when you come from where I come from, you don't do shit like that. I was ashamed, embarrassed, yet determined. Little in my voice, I was gonna tell. I was gonna fight. The truth is, I don't know how to end this poem or how to tell a man you just had sex with while I still cry in the dark. But I do. And peace. Though I love this man, the love I have for him comes broken. Ransack Adam's house, search for something I could change. and I come up empty. If angels really sit beside clouds, what was mine possibly proud of? I come damaged, broken, disobedient. I come. I have fallen upon shallow waters, watch as an addict drown, sit with a door closed as I begin to hear his body sweat. And I think about what kind of woman that has made me. Too young in my depth to be the reason why a man stands. I see needles in many forms. Monsters parked on the stations of men fill the oceans of his eyes and color me in this feeling of fade I no longer love and let me lose myself. I've been every kind of bitch. Chased the back of his hands on days he wasn't home. Addiction will steal the light out of your daughter's smile long before understandings can heal it. I wish I could say I prayed for him. Put my emotions to the side while I gathered myself, but I couldn't. I'm still young in the process of healing. I didn't get it. I never understood how a grown woman is still affected by the lack of a healthy man. This stage earned a check, wash a load, and spill over some daddy issues back when I was 12. It's a season of reflection. I understand I gotta come to terms with the broken parts of me before I could properly hold someone else. But that hasn't stopped me from daydreaming, though. From becoming a bride in my own mind. And nah, I don't see his face. But in my heart, I wonder what he's going
Okay.
through right now. And hopes he's writing a poem about me right now. I got two more. I might have, with time, I might only be able to do one. Miss Dyson, you would tell me if I could after the next poem, all right?
You are just fine. Do what it is you need to do.
All right. These next two come a little different. Sometimes you don't know you're in a situation until you're broken after that situation. So that's why. All right. I, page of words, reflect the wounds that lead me to a path of self neglect. I wake up, roll over, scream at God, and wish for a new life. He must be so sick of me. There was a knock at the door. I opened the door to find a man who said nothing. The silence of a man usually confuses me, wondering what silence can he deliver on this bright Sunday. Where is he? I don't know. He doesn't live here anymore. I had never seen this man, but better than I to ask him who he was or who the fuck he spoke of. I knew. I knew this had to be brought forth by a man that drags the pain of me while I kick and I scream, leaving me to look like I lack sanity. He turns the corner, unzips and spreads, leaving babies hidden underneath the breath of yet another. Blessings turn siblings that we ain't never spoke of. The same man yells, Ma, I love you, while he drags the pain of me yet through another corner, and I the fool that takes on every woman he dares to spread. And that I left my name to slither. I learned in this process of growing, of becoming, the bone she choked on, reshaped me, shaped the appearance of a woman I've never met. Pride and self-respect just a little lost. I view her, abandoned, curbside by the same cycles, the same people that watched me grow from the strength of single hands. Now watch me fall. Fall for a man that has made me the outlets to his wounds. The markings to his bearings have left me to heal. And don't I know better? Wasn't my hero a reflection of the same choking women's by the strings of his imperfections? Leaving me a sibling that's only known through the spirals of our DNA. I hold her picture to the wall daily, as if viewing the young girl she grew from allowed me to get to know the woman she became. But it didn't. Flashbacks of feelings I wish I know woman. Days I cried so often my unborn child gathered itself in knots, striking me with the same pain that I passed down. The silence of a man usually confuses me, wondering what scars can he deliver on this bright Sunday. He lifts the right of his shirt and he shows me his gun. My son, who barely has the experience of walk, holds the back of my leg knee high, not even 2 yet, and I find phone to ring morning, silently praying for the day this man no longer returns. Poem. Thank you guys. And it kind of started like this. Hello. There was a call at work. Can I speak to? My heart raced. I knew this was one of those calls. Because though I've been doing customer service for a long time, she knew me by name and not by tone, and I found that kind of odd. It wasn't long before me and her sat across one another. And of course, the way she looking at me, I'm looking at her, and things got a little ignorant, foolish to say. She takes out a picture, and I grab the proof I need to show a cheating man a better way, but she says, there's no need to make a fuss about it, because it's not like we still sleeping together. So I'm like, yo, what am I here for? A man finally stops his shit to save his home, and now, when those checks stop coming in, now you got something to say, huh? She's like, but wait, together we bear a child. Cha-cha, I can't with this one. I used the yard to split a cab back, jot her phone numbers down on the flip side of a napkin, and continue to make my way. I couldn't go back to work, though 6 years too many. My thoughts were loud, louder than any block I could pass, understand, a child, a ring, 2 new locations. I left my mother's home for this shit. Built the world on the future of my new beginnings. Do you think I knew about postpartum depression? While maintaining to be a good woman? My home was on the lips of every give it up bitch. Nah, this is not what I signed up for. We get about 2 blocks away. My stomach is in knots. I give the driver the only money I had left. I hadn't got paid yet. I make my way up the stairs only to find him resting. I just wanted a loving home, yo, a companion, a husband, a best friend. I kick his foot. Get the fuck up, yo. Toss the picture before he could open his eyes. I'll tones the neighbor's questions. Furniture gets shuffled across the room. He shakes me. Like a lady shakes a child she ain't woman enough to have yet. And he thinks, 'cause I come in with a loud tone, that this is acceptable. My body across the frame of every wall. But I won't stop fighting. These voices are loud, but they ain't never met me before. I said, stop, it's becoming too much. But he keeps talking and he keeps talking. I was getting tired of getting dragged across my home. I ran to the kitchen to grab a knife. Nobody's gonna miss him, the voice said. I said, stop, yo. It's becoming too much. I don't know how I got this arm, but the knife landed in his hand. He dragged me from the kitchen through the hallway to my living room floor, threw his 210 pounds across my ribs, and I really don't know how much he fucking weighed, but it weighed like an elephant bared my breath. And somewhere between the noise, the wall, and the floor, I cut myself. This didn't happen on purpose, but that didn't stop the stains from the stitches. My homes, my walls, who the fuck have I become? He pulls both hands over me, and the tip of his knife is the only thing I could see. There was a conversation with God. Wait, a love letter to my son. I said no. A pause moment in time. And I just wanted him to stop, yo. Shout out to all my domestic survivors. Oh man, my heart to yours. Much love. Thank you, Miss Dyson, for this platform. I love it. Spoken word saved my life. Writing healed me in every kind of way. Thank you. That was my set.
Y'all open up your mics. Give it up.
Right.
My word.
Get it.
Thank you.
Everybody take a deep breath. That was wow. Okay. Coming up next, I'm so happy to see this woman because I hear her voice rather frequently, but she's rarely on screen. So it's nice to be able to see and hear her at the same time. Y'all, please give it up for Nazila Jameson.
Hi, y'all. Oh my God. I'm so excited and honored to be in a room with y'all. Um, this is amazing. I'm not going to take up too much time because, time is of the essence. So, um, I have a couple of poems. So I have to preface this first one. I made my rap debut a couple months ago at a freestyle open mic. And scared the shit out of me, so my rap career is over. But I'm in a writing partnership with a rapper, and it inspired this. See me, melanated and glowing, hydrated, moisturized, and knowingly divine, flowing smooth as blackberry wine. I am my gift to you. Blindingly bright to see you through, yet dark as night, stealthy, materially poor but spiritually wealthy, leaving healthy obsessions in my wake, inspiring spontaneous confessions, creating transparent atmosphere around me, making the courageous glad they found me. It astounds me how profoundly stunning is this existence and how often I have won with this persistence. Yet I remain humble and in awe, drop my jaw and wonder every day of my life that I overcome strife and continue to thrive. Survival is for the fittest, not the weak minded. Every morning, I continue to hone and redefine my purpose and locate the joy, seek to construct, not to destroy, to open eyes and enhance sight, perpetual evolution with all my might, so as to more be me, so you can better see me. I'm not a rapper. um, okay, so this poem is for it's for my West Coast people. This is for my bubble people. Easy to forget that one is a rainbow when surrounded by colorblind, self-proclaimed angels, smiling manufactured goodness, eye-beaming rays of light. For we live in this shimmering golden bubble, liberal Western oasis, swimming pools and movie stars, acceptance and BLM signs, and homophiliac sanctuary cities. But there are vicious predators in the woods between San Francisco and Los Angeles, between rainbows and Black Lives movements, the hills and the beaches, the Pacific and the Atlantic. There is a vast and sinister inland where maskless, anti-abortionist racists cultivate hate in conservative soil. It chills there, fermenting like grapes, waiting until the time is ripe. Easy to forget while at the Pride Parade, while kissing under a rainbow flag, while happily existing while Black or brown or trans or not conservative white male. Do not forget, we make our home on a cultural island surrounded by a dark and dangerous woods containing carnivorous monsters hungry to consume people and peace and freedom and all things genuinely good. This poem is all about you. I was worried about what you would think, so I carefully crafted the image of myself in the mirror this morning to your standards, pressed and sprayed my kinky coils, binded my belly in latex and Velcro, folded and tucked my generational trauma, covered my face in every color but my own, lashes and lace front sold separately, self esteem not included. Your opinion being of utmost importance to me and how I look in public, because I always want to impress you. You, the checker in bathroom hallways for the legendary man in a dress. You, who judge if one looks handicapped enough as they make their way from that space. You, the caller of managers and police overseers whenever one somehow forgets their place. You are there to remind me that it is all about race, unless I say so, because then I'd be playing some type of card that apparently only I hold. But I should not say anything at all when you are speaking. Speak only English when you are in earshot. Never speak about white people or injustice or trans lives or genocide or have a differing opinion, lest you might be offended. Let me remember that you are the American default, represented by the white stripes on the flag, the bloody red ones, of course, representing the rest of us, the stars being the ones in heaven, purported by the book you have wielded to oppress all non white, non male, non Jews. You being a euphemism for white heterosexual American, for normal human being, for most privileged person, most served, most heard. Most days, I just stay home. It takes a lot of energy sometimes to be seen as both Black and not a predator, both a woman and not prey. It takes a lot of energy to be seen at all. It is safer most times to make myself invisible to you, to not cause any trouble, that is, stand up for myself, to keep myself smaller than my shadow, because you are notoriously moody and unpredictable. You are fickle and prone to deadly outbursts at times. So, as much as I would like to be indifferent to what anyone thinks of me, I find myself begrudgingly invested in what you think of me, because I like to spend the majority of all my time staying alive.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Um, this is called Snow White. Did you know that in 1669, the Casual Killing Act was passed to protect rich white women who too often murdered the offspring produced by their husband's sexual assault of enslaved girls? The children were routinely boiled, skinned, tortured, and beaten to death. At the time, white male lawmakers decided this could not go on, so they renamed it an acceptable action, as recurrently white people have changed the rules to favor the rule makers. The propaganda film, Birth of a Nation, strategically showed the pure white woman being chased down and attacked by the scary black man. It is a perception permanently ingrained in the mind of white America. His conquering in that movie is the blueprint of police brutality, a power you still continue to wield at your leisure. So excuse me, white lady, if I seem a little aggressive today, a little extra anxious, perhaps a little afraid of your dangerous and often deadly gaze. I feel better surrounded by darkness than in the harsh and fickle spotlight of your smile. Your tears can potentially drown me, end my black legacy, and I am not quite ready to be over just yet. So I have a couple more poems. Thank you. Um, so I never talk about my sobriety because, you know, anonymity. But 2 weeks ago, I made 11 years clean and sober. And so I'm going to do this poem. This is called Grace of God. Old men like to mask their cheap bourbon with Old Spice. Young men prefer Aqua Velva, maybe Axe. I can't tell. It all smells like addiction and sorrow and panhandled dollars, seeping noxious gas from their pores and their permanently broken hearts. I went to ask the man on the corner who first taught him how to waterboard his dreams. What barroom junkie served him his first shot of gradual suicide? What fallen angel showed him the joys of steel wool and glass cocktails? My lover taught me how to smoke clove cigarettes, but I was already a smoker. Like saying my grandpa taught me how to be a sex object, but from birth I was already fucked. Men schooled me in a myriad of ways to self-poison. I have met exactly one man who tutored me in living, and it wasn't my father. Slow death by substance, self-hatred, or heartbreak. We zealously impart the cards we have been handed. Addiction is rampant in this country. It is a gift that keeps on giving. I am so-called clean. I do not intentionally ingest for the sole purpose of euphoria or escape. I work a program, climb the steps, avail myself to a network of pleasure seekers. We call ourselves clean, in the sense that we were probably conscious enough to take showers this morning, making me slightly fresher than a slather of cheap cologne. All that separates me from Old Spice Man is the time until his next drink and the time since my last. Both our eyes fixed on this clock, ticking, ever ticking. So I have one more. Yep, I have one more poem. Thank you so much for having me, all of y'all. This has been delightful. This is called You. I am 3,500 miles away, having hot flashes in air-conditioned rooms, getting over you. It is not as hard as I thought. Surviving never is from the outside, out of love, out of the drowning pool, out of the pits of despair. The imp sneaks up behind me and sets my hair on fire. I break into a sweat and slowly count down from 30, the length of another personal summer, one season at a time. Yours was winter, icy dark and relentless. Your laughter was barb-hooked projectiles, intentionally pointed and painful. Your smile as existent as December Alaska sun. I am suddenly room temperature again. The temperature of the room is 56 degrees. I shrug on my sweater. I never quite know the actual weather. Hot flashes are caused by a confused hypothalamus. When my internal thermostat thinks I am too warm, it turns on the heater to cool me down. It is counterintuitive and masochistic, much like my attitude toward relationships. Maybe my body, like you, will get bored with torturing me. Or maybe I will soon stop setting inadequate fires in the Arctic snow. I am home, still overcoming. No heat wave in my hometown, just internal inferno upon waking, just lukewarm phone calls from you. I want to ignite something, but I have only my own spark and no match. The thought of this turns me into a glowing ember. I focus on what I cannot control: you, the weather, my erratic body temperature. Every second feels like an entire sunrise, and also like a rising glacier, and also like a death count. To think there was a time when all I needed to feel cool was for you to tell me I'm pretty. But that was before being your side chick became a full-time unpaid position. I gotta work tomorrow. I still don't have time for your bullshit, or good morning beautiful texts, or changing my soaking wet pillowcase, or changing my sleep-deprived mind. I am at peace for the moment, meditating on solitude and air conditioning, safe and naked between my sheets and the folds of my own solace and self-love. Everything always eventually passes, including heartbreak and hot flashes. Thank you so much.
Y'all open up your
That
mics,
was
throw
dope.
some
That was dope.
roses.
Thank you, Naz.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful, Naz. Wonderful, Nazia. Wonderful.
Oh my goodness. Don't get me testifying on hot flashes. Thank you, Naz. I appreciate that. Coming up next, I'm really, really thrilled to be able to introduce this woman. I rarely, even after I first saw her and asked her to join us, I hardly ever get to see her. And so I am beyond thrilled that she is here today. She is also one of the newer members of Tesoro. Please open your mics and give it up for Halima.
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome.
Hey y'all. So look, I'm in the country. I had to come to my family's home in Louisiana for a funeral. So We're gonna try not to have no background noise, and everything so far has been beautiful, especially the heartbreak and hot flashes. I resonate. I'm gonna try to get this done quick. It is the 5th anniversary of George Floyd, his murder. I am going to do that poem and one or two others, but I'm kind of long-winded, so let me just get into it. Okay, let me go to my little space. This one is called George Floyd. It says, part of me is like, burn this place down. I really don't care who doing what, we'll figure it out later. I hate it. Give me a sign, a bullhorn, or a gun. Trauma sitting in the back of the squad car waiting to take a mug shot, but then they take him out. We watch a 10-minute clip of an 8-minute, 46-second murder. A lifetime of pain becoming a catalyst for Black speak by white supremacists who feel compelled to take to the streets and covertly destroy Black things. They are obsessed with destruction and pain and use Black skin as a backdrop for their hate. Another part of us died that day. And if it's anything like the last time when they finished teaching and raping our revolt, it'll be reduced to slaves being put in their place, sitting at their countertops, begging to be fed with the dogs, singing under the threat of water hoses and billy clubs. Because they think if we walk back Black, I mean Harriet Tubman, Denmark Vesey, Marcus Garvey, L. Has, Malik Shabazz, our beloved brother Malcolm Black. I mean Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, Florida, Harlem Renaissance Black. I mean, Black Panther Party, we all gonna need Black. I mean, hands off facade of liberation and action Black. I mean, rest in power, Dr. Matulu Shakur, them needles had to clear Black. We second line on their next thing and dig this shit. We don't need this shit. We afraid because revenge is their language. Because we always want to work it out. Be allies and integrate, work with nonprofits that pretend like Black jeans behind white faces is a new thing. Full-time revolutionaries more than a title on our business card. And please don't get me started on politics. This life just don't work dressed in Black. Feels like they shoved a hand grenade in your mouth with a gun to your head and said, holler back when I pull the pin. Black genius stay running toward ignorance, and ignorance stay ahead of the game because they got a hell of a head start and keep it cruising. We get stuck in conversations about how the work should be done with folks that's on the sidelines who are well-intended, horrible-ass cheerleaders, thought ignoring them or passing the baton. Because their arguments will have you like them working concessions distracted by the fans. Hey, who you say you rooting for again? You sound just like this white boy past wearing a MAGA hat yelling, run, nigga, run, beside this white girl smiling too goddamn much, beside a deputy sheriff wearing a white mask with holes in it. We don't burn crosses, we carry them. The grave sites around our necks and diamond-studded tombs to make sure death protects us before and after we die. I mean, my life, my life, my life, my life is a riot, is a protest, is a beautiful book of redemption like the Bible or the Quran, or like owning Black businesses you've written from other people. This ain't your land if you don't own it. And I'm not justifying violence or belittling the sacrifice. I just don't understand how they can expect us to be rational in an irrational place. 1 minute you had him in handcuffs on the ground. 2 minutes your knee bowed on his neck like a devout Protestant minister. 3 minutes your knee stayed there like a Catholic priest after profession. 4 minutes he begged for his life. 5 minutes he begged for his life again. 6 minutes he begged for his mama who'd been dead a couple of years. 7 minutes he went to meet her. 8 minutes and 46 seconds later, barely got him and his dog-ass friends for murder. Our friend said we charge genocide again. And again, we charge genocide again. And again, we charge genocide again. I mean, how many ways we gotta die for you to see it? I heard protest don't work, but I also heard angry get shit done. And it might not be liberation, but it forced another arrest. So until we come up with something else, and they stop killing us wearing bulletproof vests, I say F them. And meet us outside for some civil unrest. So that's the end of that one. The next one is called Tall Trees. Blessings to those who came before us, to the ancient spirits and mysteries, from the ones that jumped to the ones that stayed or stole away into the night, for those who were whipped, for those who were shackled, for those who fell unconscious in hot boxes or stillborn in houses, who were mutilated while picking cotton, made to wear iron collars, used as bait for gillis, punished for that white raked into their veins, torn from their mothers to serve as pets, ripped from their families to breed, brutally murdered in massacres, sold at the auction block, attacked with water hoses and dogs, billy clubs and bottles, cages and cops, the tears of Southern fragility and their racist ass counterparts. See, I am from the South, where mouths are dirty and drip gold and blood, hanging moths tell stories that look like Black folks with afros being carried to slaughter, or bloody roots keep us stoic until death. When you live on hallowed ground, you can't help but see the ghosts braiding maps with God. See, Moses went to prepare a room for you by the new moon, so take a left when you leave this shack and don't look back. Travel a couple of miles until you see a shanty dipped in blood at the top of the hill. When you get there, ask for traveling grace. She'll be waiting for you wearing a noose for a necklace smelling like death. Somebody had to die. Somebody's still dying, says the lady in a blue dress down on her knees, scrubbing the bottom of the toilet and mopping the floors, because today she is essential. But yesterday she was just a maid. She thinks of you cautiously, Lord, and she prays, expecting there might be more hell after death, weeping for herself and the people still shackled to terror. Least we forget they had picnics, hung young Black men for kicks, called us witches while whipping unborn children from the wombs of our sisters. Least we forget we were once considered 3/5 of a human. Least we forget our ancestors lived and died for their captors' independence. Least we forget the bloody red lines they draw to keep us separate. Least we forget they still buy bucks in the NFL draft picks. Least we forget they democracy looks like white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchy, and racism. We are fighting monsters who are morally corrupt and fear retribution because they are fluent in death. The only language they speak is murder. Surrounded by the stench of state-sanctioned violence and Southern democracy, they still lynching niggas at the Capitol, burning crosses behind deadly pens. They traded their hats for red hats and pens. Hey, Jim, who y'all hanging today? Every bill expands policing, and every suspect look like my son. See, it's not their guns that kill us. It is their systems, their thinking, their cloak of white privilege that keeps them protected, and us in crisis pushing the Black on Black crime narrative. Because crime is about proximity, not race. White folks kill white folks too, without being seen as violent, even though they violently stole people from a continent, authored the Holocaust, dropped bombs on Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and churches in Alabama, murdered babies, Carol McNair, Carol Robinson, and Addie Mae Collins. Not to mention they experimented with smallpox and airmen, killed Cheney, Schwerner, and Goodman, Jonathan Daniels, Cynthia Wesley, and Pearlie Golden, Emmett Till and Tamir Rice, Breonna Taylor and Khalif Browder, Fred Hampton and young Bobby Hutton, Rakia Boyd and Trayvon Martin, Megan Evans and Ahmaud Arbery, Sandra Bland and Oscar Grant, Rayshard Brooks and Rasheed Carter, Tyree Nichols, George Floyd, Tatiana Jefferson and Jalen Lewis. Black is beautiful, baby, but it's dangerous. Then they co-opt the Black experience and start groups that theorize about how we should feel, then instruct us on how we should treat them in reference to how they feel, and then have conversations with us so we can feel okay about people continually taking lives that are not theirs in a delusional system that then makes us responsible for educating them on how to rearrange our feelings to better deal with their racism. Then we apologize, have conferences, grapple in group discussions about the power of Black power to organize communities with inadequate funding that should in fact be reparations because we were ripped from our land, stripped of our wealth, and punished for our resistance. Children of the sun, be careful, because one cannot pander to Satan and expect to walk with righteous angels. He pounces on prey wearing sheep's clothing. Choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing evil, so how can we trust them? Well-groomed charlatans with sharp tongues and bloody lies walk in designer pain beside modern-day slave traders who entertain people of color and terrorists right before their most critical democracy-abolishing elections. While the fully integrated put everybody in danger because they are well-trained and well-kept retreats from their masters. Enchanted by gold-plated lies, they forget that no one is free until everyone is free because their life changed with their posture. Stop genuflecting to these demons. We done prayed enough. They do not walk on water, they buy it. They privatize it. Make us believe that living to die is a viable option when really we are just calculated risks that'll make it to the top of their convictions if enough zeros come with it. I mean, we organize with good intentions and descendants of enslavers whose disposition is to subjugate and destroy. If we are not careful, we will build cults instead of communities. And even though strategy is important, at what point does it become consent? Because in my experience, you cannot reason with evil. It seems like they incentivize trauma, control how we cope, criminalize poor people for illicit drug use until they figure out how to tax it. Then build dispensaries to dominate another industry on the backs of Black and poor people who are tiptoeing through pain with guilt. Stokely said, if you confer upon someone else the power to free you, you are also granting them the power to enslave. Ain't we tired of begging? Tap dancing for people that hold free resources and red tape and rhetoric, intent on making poor people suffer so much so that they target and terrorize us under the guise of working in our best interests when they could just divert funding from murderers, invest in communities, and stop monitoring our every goddamn move. And since we did not walk to America, but now we are here to stay, we do not find solace in their treachery or the tactics they use to keep us in chains. They stole us, they sold us, they fucking know us. So it is our duty to fight for our freedom. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We will build, we will fight, we will educate, we will organize, we will free the land, free the land, free the land by any means necessary. Do I have time for one more? Okay. This last one is very important to me. I have experienced some bad things in my life. It is not new. Stacy, I tried to write a new one. I got so much shit to say that I couldn't get it done in enough time. So please forgive me. But y'all probably done heard this one before, okay? It's long too. We're gonna make it happen. All right, here I go. Let me go. All right. I guess this outfit said I wanted to be raped. Let her lay in that puddle of blood. Mama clean the sheets later. Because it slid you between my legs at the expense of my feeding. My pants was pink. Could you see me bleeding? I mean, you did want me home. If you finished, you couldn't look me in my eye, but I thank you for your chivalry. Ain't nothing like your first time when you don't know it's your first time. I heard in ways you can't imagine. I was forcibly introduced to the treachery of false prophets, and righteously what I learned most is I don't need a savior to crown trauma. Life free to Kahlo, I am fragile like a bomb, not a flower, and the pain I carry isn't always my own. It is residue from the visceral spirit of thieves who pillage the temple with bloody swords and vicious tongues trying to conquer or break or tame my spirit like they masters before them. Demanding respect they had no intentions on giving, expecting loyalty from many women they show their attention because we've been conditioned to think our lives have no meaning absent that of a man. Many think we should seek their validation. We are encouraged to hold on to pieces of them rather than embrace the whole of ourselves. And even though we were built to recover from pain, it is cruel and unconscionable to exploit our emotions just to make your sex more pleasurable. We are shamed for our emotional tirades that were triggered by emotional tyrants wearing leather baits or baseball caps or blue suits with designer shades. Projecting their insecurities on our independence, throwing bricks at shadows and stones at shades. See, I have no desire to love under duress against a standard that wasn't ours to begin with, making unreasonable comparisons and unreasonable requests using slaveocracy as a guide. Well, damn, babe, You sound angry now. I'm really not. You just feel threatened because I'm a warrior too, and my tongue pierces pride like a spear in the hands of a Zulu, wearing a mask to ward off cowards fighting on me too. Because I'm not soft enough for you. I'm not modest enough for you. I'd rather be alone than to be controlled by you. I mean, really. You shouldn't want me to be your slave. What the hell is too independent anyway? People only discredit the value of independence when it comes to Black women, but embrace our power to benefit their causes. We teach girls to shrink themselves and that sexuality is different for them, and that we should act beholden to men for the inalienable right to live, seek permission, and cater to their whims when it is us who keep them safe inside our wombs for they knew what it meant to live. But you can't do what a man do, baby. I'm so sick of hearing this shit. You don't have the right to tell me how to exist, which forces me into the role of a womanist because you refuse to treat me like a human. I'm not a pet. I don't step and fetch. So when I tell you to kiss my ass, you attack. Question my femininity and liken me to a man because I won't jump through hoops to serve you. Cooking is a life skill, not a gender role. In my appearance has nothing to do with you. So who cares if you like my hair short or long, curly or straight, natural or fake, makeup on my face, trying to uphold a European standard of beauty to placate your preference, lying for attention to be emotionally mistreated. You can't even understand what it means to be a woman to somebody call you a bitch, then you damn near have a heart attack and want to fight whoever said it. Especially when it's a woman. You feel emasculated because there is nothing worse than being a woman, right? Except being seen as a woman, called a woman, by a woman who know what it means to be one. So think about the gravity of that shit. How little you think of us and how little we've been taught to think of ourselves. Fanny Barrier Williams said, what our girls and women have a right to demand from our best men is that they cease to imitate the artificial standards of other people and create a race standard of their own. Black men who better than you should understand what it means to be forcibly taken, to be seen as less than human with a mandate to live under the rules of somebody else. It's like you can't see suffering if you're not the center of attention. Most of the time, all we want you to do is listen, stop supporting the world's efforts to misappropriate the strength of Black women and help us to retain it for our healing. And please understand, we are acutely aware of the hatred that exists against Black men, and we fight for you. All we want you to do is fight for us too. Yeah, I'm a Black woman. Vessel of duration, surrogate mother to nations. My womb is the battleground of civilization. I am the construct of a past that took life from my mind and hid it between my legs so the sex will never be confused with intimacy again. I am brutal honesty, wrapped in delicate skin, releasing tears from myself and all that needs in my shed the blood of dead children and run fragile egos to Caucasians for coddling, wielding machetes and lightning when I walk because my rage needs protection, not guilt trips and pillow talk. I am your mother who knows you like she knows herself because she took the shots that gave you life and then died 9 times to birth you. Her understanding has no boundaries in a world that keep us laboring to love you. I am your sister. Nurtured from the same pain, seeking attention the same way, loving you with a hate that could only be related. Cause I'm gonna get in your face, slap box your soul away, and then wrestle you to the ground and tell grandma, I'm say, y'all stop all that tussling, gal, go on somewhere else and play. Be mad for 10 minutes and then race you down the street to play dodgeball or hide and go seek. I'm your daughter. You should want to protect me, make me believe that make believe is real. Slay dragons, ignore temper tantrums, and then love me unconditionally with understanding and honest compassion, not disdain and gaslight tactics. Yes, I am a queen. I am not, however, a science project. Your ribs have nothing to do with who does the dishes. And the kitchen don't care who cooking them. And a diaper with shit in it simply need changing. And our hands work the same. I am herbs. I am medicine. I am hard because that day soft is taken. I am the undercurrent of blue that you see in a full moon. I am incense unfurling to the signs of Badu. I am sunshine. I am sun rays. I am effervescence on Sunday. I am rays. I am waves crashing in the sea. I am doves crying to be seen. I am hurricane season, exposing your treachery. I am Suge Avery running to save Miss Seeley. I am the reason Jesus wept. I am life after death. I am both heaven and hell because I am eternally blessed. I am mad at the world for their treatment of Black women. And I am tired of apologizing for holding my freedom. I am pissed that people celebrate misogyny and then condemn Black women for simply resisting demons. You have no power over me. I hold thunder in my teeth and ride tsunamis through the streets, dying dead bodies to come see me. Yeah, I'm a god. Can't none enter but through me. I move the world with my mind while eating vegetables and sipping green tea. I am distant galaxies. I am dual realities. Yes, your majesty is the only shit you should say to me. I am audacity. I am sacrifice. I am everything you need except Lily White. I am not your kind. My life is not for sale, so keep your addiction to white fragility over there with them. I said, no, I'm not your slave. Either stand with me or get the fuck out of my way. See, I got too much power in me to stand in the shadows and pray for some nigga to give me his last name. I have my own. I am not interested in articles or posts that teach me how to bait, capture, or keep them. How to temper my responses, to contour my attitude, to complement their idea of what a woman is. How to dress so they won't be tempted, how to dress so they will be tempted, how to walk, talk, think, or eat just to get their attention. Smile, baby, but not too much. Be smart, but not smarter than them. Nice, but not too nice. Limit your opinions. Always be ready to have sex. Be patient and caring. Don't gain too much weight. Let a man be a man, which essentially translates to let him play in your face. Don't be jealous, forgive and forget. And my personal favorite is you need to know what a woman's place is. They tell women a man should be their provider. They get mad when they look to a man for provision. In the same breath, they condemn another woman for being independent. They censor your daughters and condemn the length of their dress rather than teach them how to protect themselves from sexual predators they know. Because 1 in 5 women are raped by an acquaintance by the age of 17. We are groomed into bondage under the guise of care. If you are silent about your pain, they will kill you and say you enjoyed it. So I preach revolution to say women are people too. Don't set expectations for us that you won't set for you. Tell them they are unwittingly bound to a culture of dominance fueled by religious indoctrination and violence. Tell them to stop whipping you into submission with books that justify your enslavement. Tell them to stop holding you responsible for their inability to control their urges. Tell them to work on their holiness as fervently as they talk under your clothes. Tell them they are not your masters. Tell them they are not your Lord. Tell them to stop making decisions in the name of protection when you most need protection from them. Tell them that your body and mind is not theirs. Do not argue your humanity with people who lack even a surface understanding of sexism and toxic masculinity perpetuated by men and women, passed down to our children. They treat women like children. Until they need our services, until they need a nanny, a doctor, a cook, or a servant, tell them to suck their indignance, swallow their self-righteousness, and roll over in their selective consciousness. You don't need their redemption. You don't need their permission. And unless you ask them for it, they can keep their opinions. And when they attack, label you too aggressive, paint you as angry because you won't take their shit, tell them I'd rather die alone than to be kept by a generous master. That's the end. Thank y'all for letting me do that.
Y'all open up your mics, throw some roses if you can still breathe.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of rough. And I appreciate y'all for letting me do that. Yeah.
Okay, it needed to be said. It needs to be said. That should be like required speaking and reading for every woman on the planet. Okay. Mercy. Okay. Coming up next, I always get such a thrill out of hearing this woman. She is, for me, what the elegant simplicity of poetry is supposed to be. She is the one who defines the be cool but get it done school, the throw fire at it and walk away like Angela Bassett school of poetry. Y'all open up your mics. Please give it up for Diane Murray Ward.
Yes,
Good
Miss
day,
Ward.
everyone.
Yay, Diane.
It's hard to come after Halima, but I'm gonna try. I'm going to try my best. Oh, I breathed them in. For all the lies sea gave us to return, and all the soot of bodies and machinery we inhaled. For all the lies sea swore to, and she is living prettier far away from the aftermath. For all the masks distributed that we shouldn't have worn all day long, full tours that were only good for 3 or 4 hours. For all the lies C, representing the government, gave us to return. And it continues for all the quirky ventilation, the lies the government continues to tell, explained conveniently from far away. For all the lives C gave us and her cohorts, still today they expound and make hundreds of matter. Thousands of dollars yearly to add to their coffers and care less about our lives, which don't matter. To those on registries of various pretend government caring, we are just statistics and expendable expendables. And they go on unchecked, fake, healthy, blazoned as what are heroes. They got everyone's back. The dust, the soot, the clearing, the soaking of the streets. No watering them down to keep the dust that rose every day, sent to aisle for removing, all temporary. Upon return, the air still different, mixed with body dust, air conditioner dust, particles of people floating in your nostrils, the epicenter spread, and of cleaning windows, the angels flesh dropped down, each pore, every pore, each last breath lingered above us in the trenches, keeping the everyday to appease the government that lied and lies and pretends and could care less about what you breathe because they lied. And you have the nerve to be a survivor. You survived the horror, the unbelief, the vivid running, escape, no service, do not panic, try to communicate, seek out ways to escape. But wind has fleeter foot, and sky no longer clear blue. It was blue that morning, and the blue became grayer each subsequent day, month, year, decade, score, more to come. Puff, cough, sneeze, wheeze, inhaled and not exchanged for new, stayed, remained, never left me, so no need to return the gift of lies. I'm a 911 survivor. End of piece. DMW. To Raccoon with love. This is from my life. This is nonfiction. And so everything that I'm reading to you is how it actually happened. Eagerly, I arrived appreciative of this summer opportunity to work one-on-one with a nurse and doctor within a pediatric emergency intake unit. As I placed my purse within the desk drawer for safeguarding, my first patient appeared. His sharp-tanned muscles rippled, propping canals instead of veins. A bundle swamped by the bulk of his forearm was barely visible. Inside was an unmoving, silent infant with a bicolored face, since the portion brow to chin was much darker than its tiny forehead. 3 tiny round holes were barely visible. The nurse immediately took the bundle behind the curtain to the attending physician located directly behind me. It's now just me and him. I'm supposed to greet, get facts for the nurse and doctor, help comfort and try to distress parents bringing their child to us for emergency medical attention. The generalized basic introduction is, how can I help you? Your name, please, etc., etc. Well, that didn't happen. I didn't remember any of that spiel. I said, what happened? He said something about her crying, and then she stopped. I didn't really hear him since I was distracted by a woman entering the unit. She was wearing a threadbare house dress, appearing perspiration slicked, which hung limply on her jutting bones. She looked extremely pale. She could barely stand, so she clung to the entrance door. After a few tentative steps, she backslid down an adjoining wall and sat on the floor. I said again, what happened? He says, she fell. I say, no, she didn't. His muscles proceeded to delineate themselves into little islands of possible hurt. I didn't stop. Instead, this high school intern, 4 foot something, 90-pound nothing, moi, got up into his hot, sweaty face and with finger pointing for emphasis said, you did this, didn't you? And you back there, pointing to the lady on the floor. Is this your infant? He beat you too? Huh. Her head dropped. Her streaked hair hung like a ringed out string mop. She remained silent. I never knew neck muscles consisted of more than swallow and speak. This man had neck veins that would have made a beginner phlebotomist's day. He looked down at me and said, what are you going to do about it? I'll give you some too. He began to breathe in puffs. Puffing fueled his chiseled features' transformation into granite. We were both witnessing how I was deepening his bronze. Now he's glaring and heavily puffing like he's gaining steam. He wants to pulverize me. Instead, he's erasing his palm-lined hands. The dust separating us is shrinking. The doctor, infant, and nurse return from behind the curtain. I tell the nurse, call the police, call security. He did this. The nurse is stuttering and looking confused. I'm getting ticked with her. The doctor informs us that the infant's occipital bones are crushed and the veins severely damaged. Her little face with the raccoon dark circles was blood pooling into her eye sockets. She may never see. I really fully look at her this time. 2 of the 3 holes were her nostrils, barely visible due to the extensive swelling of her face. The settling blood caused her to appear darker than her forehead. The 3rd hole was her tiny lipped mouth. The doctor looks at me and takes her behind the curtain. I can't move, but I can shout commands. Where's the police, like I asked? Why is security taking so long? I want him arrested. What do I do? What do I fill out? I start looking for official letterhead forms when I hear my heart in my head. The nurse, she's wringing her hands. She said something about procedures. Sounds to me like she's saying blah, blah. At this point, I am totally done with her. He's ready to topple our desk. You want some of this? He says to moi. I say, bring it on. Some of what you gave her, right? I say, pointing to the woman still sitting on the floor. Now I realize the desk is a temporary lightweight model. We stare down. I see the nurse in my peripheral vision. I don't see her picking up the phone receiver or hitting a secret emergency button. Nothing. I want to hurt her now. And she's also bigger than me. So I retrieve my purse and say to him, come on, meet you outside. You're lucky we're already at the hospital. I think he blinked. I didn't look back. As I passed by, I looked down at the woman still sitting on the floor. Outside felt good. I'm pacing the concrete sidewalk a few feet from the exit. While my size 4 penny loafers build my trench, I'm thinking he better not punk out. There's a phone directly across the street where I can still scope the exit and call the woman who got me the job. I tell her what happened. She asked me to please leave the area. She's afraid for me, I think. She says I'll get paid for the day and provide me with another post. I grudgingly defer. Years later, I realized this job was the one I held for the shortest duration and the only one I ever walked out from in my life. In less than 10 minutes with my first patient, I threatened a parent, showed no compassion for a battered woman, and walked out on almost colleagues. I have thought about that infant and often wonder if she survived. For I have revisited that precious infant's face throughout the years. Although this happened before crime scene investigation techniques became television fodder, I have no doubt that I would have left some of him as evidence. DMW. Thank you.
Damn. Oh shit.
Loved it.
I'm having a hard time breathing this afternoon. Y'all are wearing me out here. Diane, that was perfection. I absolutely, y'all open up your mics, throw this woman roses. My goodness.
Yes, yes,
Get
yes.
Get up.
Great flow.
Just breathe. Just everybody take a breath.
Right. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Halima, you were muted. We didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just trying to give thanks and tell you it was beautiful. I'm not real good with the technology. Okay, so we'll see for yourself.
No problem.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, coming up next, I am so thrilled to be able to introduce this woman, mostly because I have known her since she was 16 years old. And even then, she was a quadruple threat. Now she is added award winner and mom and a couple of other titles, firefighter, doula. I mean, if there's something that this woman cannot do, I haven't found it yet. And this is the first time that she's been able to come and play with us. Y'all, please give it up for Vivian Glass.
Thank you so much. The Earth is ghetto. I'm gonna jump right into it. Today we're going to space. We're going to a cold little rock called Artes, and I am reading to you from an excerpt of a short story called Lore. So very excited to be here with y'all today. London and Tessie parked again on Gladys Step, but this time it was inky and violent with the winds of howlin'. This time the sisters were here, and so was trouble. Tessie flicked on her brights. London couldn't see anything anyway. The wind kicked ice scree in waves that closed and opened the world like sheets on a clothesline. She leaned closer to the windshield. Whatever kind of wrong had them out in this weather, it made her jaw chatter. Too dark to see tits on the ground, saw Auntie. When Tessie said nothing, London went on. Those rocks break apart or something? You worried about some kind of bad luck? Because I swear on the sisters, if you start talking like Marguerite, then the whole council is in trouble. She is a doctor. I told her all that woo-woo. There. Tessie pointed out London's window at something remarkable. At first, London saw nothing but night. But then, with a jagged line from the sky to the ground, the night changed abruptly into the soft color of dawn. London stared for a full, uncomprehending minute. She gasped when she understood, pressing her hands against the window. Something was in front of the truck, something massive. It blocked out the horizon. It's the sisters. Tessie's voice cracked. London looked at her aunt, startled to see fine tears cutting down the old woman's face. Tessie smiled like a skull. Her upper lip trembled. What? That's not... London's hands fumbled with the door latched before catching it. The wind snatched it out of her hand. She fell out of the truck, looking up, up, up. Her braids blazed a halo around her head. It was a mountain. Charging out of the dirt, a wall of rock and shadows, it towered higher than any other landmass on the planet recorded in the last 6 decades that humans had lived there. With an eruption of black stone, it ran to the north for miles and there, to the south, half a mile more before sharply diving back into the dirt again. She could see the undulating waves of grassy steppe beyond it. London looked for the top of the thing. The sky blushed a soft rose now. Small, flying creatures glided from perch to perch, riding the wind and then settling again. The culmination of awe and terror inside of her made it hard to feel the ground beneath her. It was as vast as the sprawling black of space that Tessie would talk about sometimes if you got her good and liquored up. London bit her fist. Hard. The wall was still there. It's real! Tessie shouted, unfolding from the truck. London looked behind her. She had stumbled a full 50 yards from the vehicle. Dawn on Artes turned the thermals down to occasional gusts, stabilizing the temperature from deadly to simply cold. London could hear herself panting. She realized that she had forgotten her mittens in the truck. Her goggles, too. Her hands were blisteringly painful, but she wasn't windblind, so she was alive and lucky. She yanked down her zippers and hooked her hands into her armpits, hugging herself, holding herself together. It was real. London heard her aunt's boots crunch in the frozen dirt as the old woman walked up behind her. She turned, desperate to see something familiar. However, in the shadow of this rock, Tessie was a stranger too. Her wonder and acceptance was unflinching. The tears running into her ears as she craned her neck to look up at the cliffs sent a prickling type of alarm through London's cold, aching fingers. Everything was raw and new. What is this? It's the sisters. Don't be stupid. It was gentle for Tessie. The sound of slamming car doors made London swing around. She had been so distracted that she didn't even hear the Washington's faded SUV amble up next to Tessie's clunker. She didn't know when Tessie called them, but she was relieved that more of New Rosewood's council had arrived. She turned to intercept them, raising a hand in welcome. Tanya Washington was the first one out of her truck, her white afro a shock around her dark face. As broad as she was slim, her twin brother Rudy came right beside her. His distinct gait marked him even before his reedy voice shot out across the field. "You seen anybody?" "Did I what?" London hollered back. "Anybody come by?" A shriek cut him off in mid-sentence, bouncing off the rock face. London's guts dropped and she spun around. Tessie was gone. "Tessie!" London shouted. Already the echo of the scream was fading. "That way, I think." Tanya was at her side, clutching London with an iron grip. "Rudy, get a hold of Dalian. Tell him to send for Marguerite." London broke away and ran towards the mountains. Her eyes raked the rolling steppe, searching feverishly. Come on, she thought, cursing Tessie for wandering off like she was a stupid little churly chick. Her silent tirade ended with a gasp. London saw her, but Tessie was on her knees. Her tan parka stood out against the old rocks behind her, and Tessie was not alone. Another body stood before her, dark and moving like grass in the wind. London couldn't tell if they were a man or a woman. They towered over her, wearing endless yards of cloth that made them as lithe as a shadow. The wind made London's eyes water, blurring all other details as she locked on the two and powered toward them. But then Tessie collapsed into the dirt. London didn't think. She yelled, running hard. She felt her ankles twist and bend over uneven clods beneath her. Tessie did not move. London was powerful to do anything but watch, powerless to do anything but watch the stranger bend down, arm out to her last living relative. Then they rose and turned away. "Get away from her!" she shrieked, still too far away, 100 yards at least. London pushed harder. She arrived, throwing herself between her aunt and the stranger. She tripped over Tessie's legs, going down hard before scrabbling to her feet. London yanked her utility knife from her belt, heaving. "What did you do to her?" London's voice was hoarse. The stranger did not turn to face her. Their black cloak cracked in the wind. London glanced at her aunt and sheathed her knife. She yanked Tessie from under her arms, pedaling backwards, her eyes never leaving the stranger's back. She could feel tears searing tracks down her face. In no time, London's lungs were screaming. She had to breathe. She stopped, checking for Tessie's pulse. There it was. Tessie was alive. Relief unlocked her tight arms, and London sobbed, hugging Tessie to her. She gave a watery shriek when Tanya, forgotten until that moment, grabbed her shoulder. I got her! Tanya looped two arms under Tessie's left. London scrambled for the other. Together they hoisted Tessie another 30 feet from the stranger, who continued studying the rock, their back facing the trio. It was only with the protection of another person in some distance that London truly looked at Tessie. Lying there, on the permafrost, with Jesus out arms, London found another foreigner. In her entire life, she had never seen her aunt this way. The wrinkles that carved out her face had changed. The ruts that made her smiles and snarls had softened. Peaceful, the word she finally landed on. She looked peaceful. London looked up at the outsider in black. For just a moment, they disappeared against the rock. The cloak was the exact same shade. Movement brought them back into view, like an animal standing against dry brush. London stumbled to her feet, her fear morphing into a frightening fury. "Hey!" she shouted. Tanya grabbed her arm, but she shook it away. London marched towards the towering stranger. The wind pushed and pulled around her like the whole world was breathing raspy breaths. She stopped close enough to toss a stone at the swirling cloak. "Who are you?" London yelled at the stranger's back. She could feel how wide she was standing, like she was itching for a fight. She was. "What the hell did you do to her?" Nothing. They did not move to acknowledge her voice. London dove forward to snatch the cloak. "No!" Tanya screamed from behind her, startling her just enough to throw off her aim. Her hand completed its arc, but only touched the smallest corner of cloth. And for a moment, nothing happened. London crouched down, fishing her knife from her sheath and waiting. Then their face turned, as though hearing a voice from very far away. Only a profile showed at first, a face natural and lovely as the mountain behind it. London was watching the moon's faces, stop recorded and played to the point of smooth motion. The stranger was astonishing. Skin the color of deep, rich soil, smooth cheeks, and a broad nose gleaming against the morning light. Their mouth was as generous as it was unsmiling, but it was the eyes of the stranger that made her breath stop. Only a halo of white sclera hung around their inky irises. Pupils as endless as an ocean London had never seen took her in. Their eyes blinked too little against the wind. Their hood blew back, and a storm of twist erupted around the stranger's face. A woman. London couldn't control how her mouth trembled. She did not remember choosing to fall to her knees. But the woman smiled, soft creases in the corner of her mouth. Her lips began moving, but no sound came out. London, hand pressed to her chest, leaned forward, trying to hear. There was nothing but the wind. She said, "I'm sorry, but..." Then a voice. Inside her head, bouncing off the inner cave of her parka hood, sweet and thundering from everywhere in the world, filled with an excitement that rattled her bones. London's eyes watered with the sheer volume. It said, "Little sister, I recognize you." That's it.
Y'all open up your mics, throw some roses. I loved that.
Nice. That was real nice.
So we are, unfortunately, almost at the end of this. But coming up next, I haven't seen this lady in, it was like a couple of years. And I know that's because she's one of those people who only goes home to visit her clothes. We are really, really lucky that she was able to come and play with us today. Y'all, please give it up for Ellen Weber.
Hello, it is so good to be back and seeing everyone. So I have some poems, and first one is called Just Us and the Void. The dark tasted like rice wine, like ghost fire. It's us, echoes of bronze and steel, the distant laughter of the boneyard, beneath a butcher's boots. We are a pair of lamentations. We are beyond all questions, spineless with our boundaries. How empty you cry. And yes, It is a hushed impossibility that we should ever find a shape with which to hold each other's hands again. The bird is a long-necked reminder among the stones. A girl waist deep in a lover's particular absence, wet hair tangled with pansy and columbine, yes, always another jilted fool to sing and drown in fields of water. She has always been there, in the bruising of my sleepless eyes, my empty hands at the ready to spear her heart with the swiftness of any blackened beak. I've pedaled my tongue around her hungers, the bladed bite I've used to carve this body into what was desired of me. Made myself new wounds to fester with flies and loneliness, nursing at the violence of anyone's grief. You could say my skin was a blank page splayed for the scrawl of heartbreak's articulation, each entry a surrender to death and epiphany and hope. Hope, that thing with feathers at the bottom of a ravine, that girl who lies where I have dashed her among the rocks, the egret on her shoulder, swallowing her eyes. What renunciation taught me about your body. Bird-boned, hollow-cheeked, you are a dancer on knife point. You are a carver and a corkscrew. I have driven you to violence. Every morning I rethread my vocal cords, stitch up my lacerations with a green ribbon. Every night you pass a thorned rope down my throat, so I cannot speak. Feed, so that I become a fasting girl, a wretched visionary amidst these acres of spoiled honey. I called you sister once, shared rapture and ruin, bled and starved among the horse fields, but now you pull blistered prophecy from my lips, invite me to doubt my heart's arrival, my pursuit of virtue with all the persistence of sorrow. No lamentation, no confession makes my weeping more holy than your scorn. I deserve it. I have stolen your bees and devoured their marigolds. I am a rampaging colossus in your eyes, which is to say, I make wreckage in the landscape of your faith, and still howl for its gold. Forgive me, deny me, strangle me with your long black hair and be relieved. You have my treacherous tongue. You have my martyred voice. Find peace in the strength of your clean hands. The cold machinery you became to hunt the guilty into revelation and original silence. Ophelia. Imagine slipping beneath the ice, letting all the turmoil disappear when you drink the midnight of blackberry and oleander wine. It's just a thought. When the nightmares make a sublime riot in your skin, ossifying fear into what coils the spine, into what beckons scavengers to circle the crown of rotten roses, bargaining for sanctuary in your head. Do you know what love is? How it withers when caged in the nest of an unmoved pelvis. You are not the first to receive death and desire like a pincushion. Oh, my daughter, my dreadful daughter, you are not the last. So, been in kind of a dark mood of late. This one is a contrapuntal, which is a poem that can be read down 2 columns and then read across. So, first part, how to know if you are dead. Raise 2 fingers to your nose. If there is no breath or blood rhythm, your hands glow with bioluminescence. Since there are no lungs left to sing with, never again will you struggle to stand, for you are as still as stone. What are mountains compared with mushrooms and maggots and moss? Press your knuckles to your throat. Look for a snake bite or an exit wound. Your shadow has escaped you. Make communion with this quiet, or protest your innocence. What are men compared to rocks and mountains, to your body's promise, overgrown, whatever moves beneath your loosening skin? Raise 2 fingers to your nose. Press your knuckles to your throat. If there is no breath or blood rhythm, look for a snake bite or an exit wound. Your hands glow with bioluminescence. Your shadow has escaped you. Since there are no lungs left to sing with, make communion with this quiet. Never again will you struggle to stand or protest your innocence. If you are still as stone, what are men compared to rocks and mountains? What are mountains compared to your body's promise, overgrown with mushrooms and maggots and moss, whatever moves beneath your loosening skin? Outside to inside, after Lee Young-ju. I enter with unreadable sentences tattooed across my knuckles. All the better to mark time with, all the better with which to pray. Each misprinted letter spilling out in blood when I hit the wall, the heavens, the flesh of my thighs. I'm content making violence in secret, or at least in silence. Death can hear me, though, with his cicada chitter beneath the stairs. When I walk up and down all night, I can't sleep. When the sky is full of black dogs gnawing black bones, the moon is a wolfish eye narrowed in suspicion. If I stay inside the house, if I keep melting candles on my shoulders, one day I might become the sun. A golden wire, black ink and wax trailing down my fingertips. If life is pain, I have to make myself sob, stave off my own eulogies through the repetition and language the end can't decipher. There is nothing here but death and the way I haunt him. One day he will lay down his slavering jaws on my lap, licking up the words until I'm clean and empty. Scatter the bones. Your hands scatter the bones of ancient meals warmed in wood smoke. I sit enthralled by what burns in the dark. The scent is the same as it was thousands of years ago, when the soil was rich with longing, when the wind was a fragrant language. You kindle the fire, and the light licks at the ghosts of your fingertips. I wish that I could taste the secrets lining the fire glow of your wrists, to nimble my tongue over arteries that pulse with wild ancestries, the mercies of yesterdays, the melody of all that resists obliteration. There is a fever here, assembled in words I do not know how to speak, but they live in the silence between each breath you take. If the stars hold the answers, unflinching and oracular, then let us make a home of this night. Rest your bones by my bones, and speak of a future laced with salvation. Repeat them until I recognize its promise as I do my own name, tender and thick with belonging. It is an illusion, I know, but please, if this is all that is left, slide your hand into mine and let this be some future's beginning, some future's endless end. And the last poem is called In the End, I Am Just as Pierced by the Black Thorn as You. I have found it, the voice of an ancient land, the tongue you've sought, syruped in elderberry, white bloomed in dogwood. Here is the spirit that mends the words, the place where lineage divides and melds, embroidered by the thread of my lost language. It is known. The dead speak only of practical matters, and only if given the tribute of eternal silence. In this good night, we are made the shrike's prey, its hungered harvest. We ripen as the rhythm of our pulsing atriums slow. Our flesh is the feast a birds pick at, our breath a sacrifice to the unnameable. So touch me then, with feathered fingertips, the last exhilaration, the final way we know the world. Thank you.
Open up your mics, throw roses. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Nice.
Okay, Viviana, you're up.
Okay, so we have come to our final poet of the show. And she mentioned that she's known me since I'm 16. I'm gonna call it 15. It's been, let's just say it's been a while. And what I would really love to say about our next poet who has organized this, who has a talent for words and also for calling words from the deep, is I think so much about the power that that her passion has the power of it, of just being able to look and see the many ways, the reflection of many ways that it is possible for an artist to move through the world. Stacey Dyson is a force, y'all. Is a force of nature, and I hope that all of you are ready for something special. Go ahead and open up your mics and let's hear this lady. Let's let her onto the stage with some sounds. Hey, yay!
I've been waiting for you all day.
All day!
Yeah.
Okay, no pressure here. So first of all, thank everybody for being here. This is a more than fitting close to our anniversary shows. I'm going to give you two pieces. One is my very favorite of the moment, and the other is my very favorite from about 5 years ago. So, airport coming out of Tennessee, sharp banging noises. Somebody yelled gunfire, and the place shut down. Flights canceled, runway closed, TSA line stretched all the way to the back of the building. And the only people on the floor, Black and brown women, soothing, explaining. The only people on the floor, Black and brown women, taking care, solving problems. Black and brown women making sure that everyone is taken care of and okay. My show got Zoom bombed in August. Filthy racist screaming, filthy pornographic images, so I killed the cameras. Apologized to the guest, put up a closed session, and did the show. Another day, soothing and explaining. Another day, taking care, solving problems. Another day, being a strong Black woman. I had nightmares all week. Sick stomach, headaches. Nobody knew, except for the one sister I had to call because I had work to do and couldn't fall apart. I had work to do and needed to protect my people. I had work to do, and strong Black women take care, soothe, protect, solve problems, right? Kamala Harris took over the nomination. People started breathing again, got hope again, felt like maybe weren't going to die through errant Trumpidity. Gets called bitch, she smiles. Gets called half-breed, she walks light and hopeful. Gets the entire weight of the free world dumped at her feet and is required to smile and laugh and be strong and protect and care, solve problems, be a strong Black woman doing what strong Black women do and looking good while we do it. Another sister on the floor holding hearts together because that's the job, right? That's what we're born and bred to do, right? Stay calm, keep it together, teach, soothe, hold up, hold out, hold it in till you can get somewhere private. And even then, don't take too long because somebody needs feeding or holding or help, knowing that to be true. Knowing that there is nothing to be gained in telling you that blinding, painful truth. Come closer. Let me ask you something. When do I get to lose my shit? Our mothers bade us stand straight so that we did not dirty our wings in the dust. Our fathers bade us stand up so that our crowns did not roll into the gutter, but the world led us, beat us, stole our children, made us responsible for holding up the damn sky all the damn time, and said, oh, by the way, we need just a little bit more, sister. You got just a little bit more in you, don't you, sister? The least protected and most abused, the lowest paid bulk of the workforce, the ones who create the movements, then get buried in the rush, in the dust of the rush to correctly frame the story. The world envies and imitates, craves our lips, our hips, the way we style our hair, our joy, our dancing. But when they are looking for ways to deny, to denigrate, they come for us. How we fix our hair, Simone Biles. How we sing our laugh, Kamala Harris. How we fix our mouths to say whatever we need to say, me. And every other sister who keeps telling the truth. And then we are loud and extra and manly and wrong until the world comes running to us again to make it all right. I would like for just a day to be valued. I would like for just a day to have my contributions recognized past what I do for other people. I would like for just one damned day to not hear the word resilient used to describe us. That's not a description. It's a dismissal and a death warrant all rolled into one. I would like for my sisters to stop believing and being told that our worth depends on what we do and who we are for our people. I want Black men to stop using us as an icon or an excuse. I want white women to stop using us as a crutch or repository or a vessel to constantly drink from and never replenish. I want white men to stop thinking of us as exotic trophies, revenge on their ancestors, an aggravating source of children that crowd your welfare rolls, ruin your schools, and raising your property taxes. And that day is going to come. Believe me, that day is going to come, but not right. Not right now, not next year, not in the next 20 years, because there is too much at stake. And the world hasn't learned to hold itself together yet. We can't jump ship because, believe me, we'll get everybody else on the lifeboats and get left to drown. That's the job, right? Soothe, comfort, and protect everybody else first. And I want to stand on this mic and howl. I want to stand on this mic and cuss, scream, shake the whole earth with stories about where my heart and all the bodies are buried, but I can't. Because I have little sisters coming up after me whose way will be blocked, banned, buried if I tell all the truth at this moment in time. So, all right. Not tonight or tomorrow or I don't know when, but I need to ask. America, Africa, every island, every continent, anywhere, there is a sister holding it down, holding on, crying in the dark, or having to hold herself so tight that her heart doesn't have room to break. My frustration, my life needs a calm, a clear, not defined by what other people need from me, demand from me. Seriously, world, I am a Black woman trying to live through the burn of reality in this world, and I gotta know. I gotta know. When do I get to lose my shit? So the very last one, again, thank y'all for coming, for being here, for helping celebrate what is, again, Tesoro's third reign over the planet. One of my personal favorites that I haven't been able to do for a little while, but I'm feeling like I need to do it now. especially now. Dear white people, it has become something of a trend to call folks, specifically Anglo folks, out, especially by, though not exclusively by, artists. Not in an evil or angry way, just in a Jesus Christ, here are the rules, read them this time kind of way. Now, I've never been one to follow a trend, and I can gratefully say that I love and am loved by NPOCs. However, for those of you still not paying attention, for those of you just sitting in the back of the classroom, scratching yourself and playing on your cell phones, for those of you responsible for at least 25% of my acid reflux problem, here we go. And Jesus Christ, pay attention this time. Dear white people, first, let's review the basics. Don't touch my hair. Don't touch my hair. Don't touch my hair. However it waves, moves, weaves, curls, braids, or carries pretty shiny things, sure, let your eyes be seduced. Keep your hands to yourself. In the words of one sister on my Facebook stream, my head is not a damn petting zoo. And by the way, if I have chosen to wear it pressed, straight, and unadorned, please refrain from telling me how cute you think I would look if I let my hair go back to the motherland. Dear white people, I wear my clothes because I like my clothes. Please stop telling me I need to garb myself in the old ways, that my swag and style need to be more about my homeland. Read your anthropology and then we'll talk, okay? Please do not take it upon yourself to point out that my tastes do not run along party lines. Do not raise eyebrows or deride my choices in food, reading material, or music. I am grown and free, which means you may keep your opinions to your damn self. Dear white people, I personally do not care how you dress, talk, walk, or embrace the power of music. We all know the difference between homage and appropriation. So no matter how culturally light-fingered you are, please know that you cannot out-hit me. I've been Black longer than you. Quick note. If you refer to your Black and brown friends as your Black and brown friends, then you have no Black or brown friends. And please, for the love of all that is sweet, good, unholy, stop asking me how much I enjoyed Black Panther. Didn't go, I won't be watching. See next poem. Don't tell me how The Help, The Green Book, and Black Like Me really opened your eyes to the reality of being Black, when the truth is all they did was make you happy not to be me, and give you another hero translation, one who does not know what a good ally does. To sing praises over showing us poor, ignorant, childlike creatures the light and the way, by the way. Please stop asking me to perform at, let's showcase the famous approved ones, listen to them sing, watch them dance, and feel all warm and fuzzy about Martin and Harriet Tubman, otherwise known as Corporate Black History Month. One afternoon of soul food in the cafeteria and learning the words to lift every voice and sing does not bathe you in the blood of the struggle. Acceptance is not spelled, I treat you the same as I would treat normal people. Please stop telling me upon meeting me, I believe there's only one race, the human race. And glancing proudly about for applause and affirmation, I believe fairies dance on the lawn at full moon's light. That doesn't mean it's true. We no longer honor, they're old. I didn't mean anything by it, or my personal favorite, but insert the name of your Black childhood point of reference here. Always thought it was funny. And for the sake of seeing your children's children grow and celebrate our wonderful quilt of diversity, I beg you, erase, well, you're not like Kendra or Kevin or Tony at insert your point of contact with the only Black person you acknowledge on a regular basis here. I can say anything to them and they know how I mean it. My name is not Rosetta Stone. I don't do translations. For the uninformed, I will not be amused by jokes about watermelon and fried chicken. I will not think big lips and a fro drawn onto a box of grits is a fabulous gag gift. I will never be flattered by hearing, you are so much nicer than the niggas at home. Dear white people, let's not play the police were in fear of their lives. That teacher was just being creative with her lesson plan. The Border Patrol and ICE are just doing their jobs. And the president isn't always racist, homophobic, and wrong because no, they weren't. No, she wasn't. No, they aren't. And yes, he is. I cannot, am not charged with caring what you think or making sure you're comfortable. So please do not reference me as sister, auntie, or nana without my specific permission. Those liberties carry an historical charge that may well blow your head right off. You do not now, nor will you ever have my permission to use the N-word in any way, shape, form, or configuration. Well, I didn't mean you, does not, will not save you. Use your common sense. Open your eyes and ears to the courses of the world. Learn what things mean. Don't talk. Listen. You can't empathize. You may not excuse or be excused. Stop trampling over people's souls in a mad rush to say we're all the same. Breathe deep. Educate yourselves. Watch your mouths. Stop relying on what's familiar to equip or bail you out of uncomfortable times and places. And for the last freaking time, don't touch my hair. For those of you who are here, for those of you who will see this later on, thank you so much. We will see you round the way, whatever season of the world you're in, since I can never deal with time zones. Have a fantastic rest of it, and we'll be around to love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
That was an amazing set.
Yes. Thank you all.